Fine, I gotta call Rick, see how he's doing.
Is that what you wanted to do?
Gosh, you weren't that late. You were waiting.
Why my blood is so messed up.
Okay,
And
so here's your claims list. I have,
the reason I wasn't here the last time.
you got that?
Phil,
Yeah,
You got that, Randy? That?
members of the
And
press.
you must be- am I forgetting
Okay.
something?
But I mean, I had
Welcome.
There's sticking on my desk that said upload something. I don't know what it
just
was.
purple here. Didn't
Looked
break
like you'd been in a bar fight or something.
I did. I had my glasses on, I got up and had syncope, which is the voltage drops. And I first hit a solid bookcase
Oh, they don't care.
with my hands. This is a totally black and blue, and I
Oh, Rick.
bleeding a bit. My nose was bleeding. And, but I didn't hit my head.
Good.
So I didn't have to worry about it.
Good. Well, it's good to see you here. You're still in my Gotta get my computer up and running. Never mind.
Did you take my
I took your copy.
Well,
Because I'm a sneaky go down.
Here, I got it.
Christmas vacation was on last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, well, it's on cable.
Do you need one?
Jeff not coming today?
Late.
You guys have council tonight, don't you?
Yes.
Joe came over today. Well, that on.
Like last year. Yeah, I have it upstairs in the other, I think it's in your book.
Especially,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless I punched it. What one did it do? Last one? It's in the other book. This is the second time. Oh, let me see. I usually either. Okay.
It works.
I have to let them ditch, so. Maybe the other book.
Yeah, sure.
Is anyone else coming?
Jeff is running late, and I think everyone else. Jeremy did not reply.
But it said he was out of the office till the fifth. It's auto reply.
I thought he said he was out of town.
Till Wednesday.
So, okay. Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Well,
Now we can begin.
hi, Rick.
How are you, Joe?
I'd like to call this meeting to order. If everyone would please stand, it's our tradition. We recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will begin with the approval of the minutes of the prior meeting of November 5th, this meeting of our redevelopment commission. Everyone should have received a copy in their packet. Are there any additions, corrections, deletions?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Mike makes a motion to approve as stated.
I'll second that.
George, seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, approval of claims. Mr. Jeremy.
We have a few, and then I think I'll give you a handout of some appraisals for 300 North project, but Huntington Bank, 23, 137.50, was up to Buffalo Street. Bond, American infrastructure point, $24,929.53. That's for the ongoing engineering for this plaza, Buffalo Street Plaza. Huntington National Bank, $250 is the annual fee for that, for them to oversee that bond. Center appraisal service, $825 is for the gas station on Detroit Street and Canal Street. We're looking at the possibility of acquiring that property. For the parks, $600,000 City of Warsaw, that's to our sewage pledge. It's our $600,000 that the Northern Tip pledges to the sewage bonds.
You're welcome.
Troyer, $18,747.50 is for 300 North Engineering. Vern Mitchell, $2,000. Griffin Real Estate, $2,200 is for the appraisals for the Tech Park Phase 2 purchase, road project. And then the center title, the last one outside of the appraisals is $2,317,588. And I do not have the final cost, so we're approving this plus closing costs, because there will be closing costs in this, only less than $1,000, but once I have those closing costs, we'll amend that claim to include those
Would
costs.
you like to put in this not to exceed?
Not to exceed $2,318,000, or when I say $2,320,000, and that'll give us some leeway, but it shouldn't be more than $300 or $400 for those closing costs. And then the four center title appraisals are for $550 a piece. These are for right-of-way all along the 300 North projects. There's 4 different parcels we'll be looking to acquire as part of that road project, including a couple of around where the roundabout's going to occur, and then one further down along the creek that will be used for the drainage system that we will be installing.
Jeremy, would you kind of explain the 2.3 million?
Yeah. So this was part of our original agreement when we entered into an agreement with West Hill for the tech park. Part of our participation was the purchase and construction of the roads. One of the ways we did that was when we took ownership of the land, we entered into an agreement for West Hill to develop that land and put the shell building up. At that point in time, they took ownership of the road right-of-way with the anticipation of building that right-of-way and then we paying them for the construction of it. So this actually includes both the right-of-way and the lift station for the Phase 2. If you've been out there, you'll see that the road's in and the lift station is in as well. So that's what we're paying for as part of that agreement that we entered into in 2015, I think. 2015 or 2013.
3 years ago.
Yeah, 2015.
I believe.
So
And
in
I
a
did
nutshell, we're paying for the road and the lift station, the infrastructure to
the
make.
improvements, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of that was based on our anticipation of receiving back the $5 million in the tech park. So we're capped at the $5 million. Roughly what we will have in the ground in terms of infrastructure will be around $5 million, and that'll be paid for by that tech park increment over the next. And we don't know. Our increment has continued to grow over the last few years. So as people build out there, we get more increment off the income tax, sales tax, so forth. So when we get our, right now we've received right around $1 million. So we're somewhere around maybe a little less than $4 million left to collect in that increment.
And we have how long to do that?
It is not, there is no cap in terms of the years, but we do have to reapply. It used to be every 4 years. Now I believe it's every 3 years. We reapplied last year, I believe. It was either 2016 or 17. That might have been 16. So we will be reapplying not 19, but 20. We'll have to reapply for that tech park designation.
Thank you.
And I did verify, I went out on GIS Beacon, and that this property is listed as West Hill Development. So you know, we're in essence buying it back now with improvements on it. And that's what the We normally wouldn't pay $830,000 an acre for property, but it's with the improvements on it.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff, welcome.
Hey, yeah, sorry late. I had another meeting.
Not a
Sorry
problem.
about that. Couldn't get out of it.
I understand. Okay. Any questions on
Is
the
that
claims?
appraisal done on the Detroit Street property, or are we just paying for it? No. Is the appraisal completed?
The appraisal for the Detroit, the gas station?
Detroit, yes.
One of them is complete, yes.
Okay.
I'm in the process of getting the second one.
Getting, okay.
Obviously, for us to purchase any property, we have to do 2 appraisals, and that starts that state code statute of how we purchase property. Redevelopment commissions have a little bit different property purchase process than the city of Warsaw. It would be our intent if we were to move forward with that process, we'd probably do it as the redevelopment commission because it is in that central TIF where our Buffalo Street project and the park is at. So it would probably be us as a redevelopment commission acquiring that property when we were to get to that stage. Right now, we're just getting the appraisal.
Okay.
Any further questions, discussion?
I move we approve claims.
Approve claims as presented? Okay, I hear a second.
I will second.
Mike seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I'm going to abstain since I was not here on that vote.
Okay,
Okay.
so noted.
Thank you.
So, no hearing no nays, motion approved as presented. Okay. Moving right along. Next thing on the agenda is
Polk Drive.
redevelopment appraisals, acceptance on Polk Drive. And that was in the packet as well.
Yeah, so you have 2 things that you're approving. You have the appraisals, so you're accepting the appraisals that were done for Polk Drive Phase 2, and then you're approving, after that, you'd be approving the purchase agreement for that Phase 2, so that we can go to closing and officially finish that second phase. So the first thing would be accepting the appraisals that were in your packet from both Griffin and Mitchell. Lowell Griffin did one and Vern Mitchell did the other one. And these are the same 2 appraisals that did, appraisers that did phase 1 as well.
Anybody have any questions?
Are the actual appraisals that are in the packet?
They should be, yes.
I didn't see those.
They were under the
They're separate.
claims, and then I
Okay.
had
Oh,
I
separately loaded on there.
we did just added recently.
No, I put them on there on Friday. They're not showing up.
I printed everything out.
Yeah, I
I
didn't see
didn't.
it.
If
I don't have,
I go back to.
no,
That's the gas station. That's impressive. That actually is. That actually is this document right here.
It's not attached to the bottom of that document. There's not 2 appraisals.
Oh. There it is. That's the bill for it.
Yeah.
That those,
We got 2 bills
wow.
for the appraisals.
So you go to the claims, is it under the claims?
Oh, I actually, the actual quick appraisal report, I never got those.
Detailed.
That's my fault. I didn't get those.
Oh, you didn't have the appraisal?
I loaded everything I got.
Okay, I didn't realize you didn't have one. It's not on the claims either? No. Oh, so you were just uploading the claims. Well, that explains that. I do have the appraisals. I'll email them to you.
you reviewed them.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're 20 pages apiece. I can go get a copy if you want me to.
No, no, no.
Get them.
That's all right.
I thought they were loaded on there.
These 2 bills that are listed, those were on our claims.
Yeah.
earlier, so.
Yeah, I thought when I told her to upload, she was uploading the appraisal itself, not the claims.
That's kind of what I had. That's it. That's all I had.
Okay.
So any of us can stop in and check them out.
I will email them out. to
They're
you. I
very
have
thorough,
them in
yeah. I mean,
PDF
I've
form.
seen them in the past.
I have them in electronic format. And I thought I had. So I will send those out to you. You will have them shortly.
So all we're approving today is the
You're just
payment of the
accepting-
claim for the appraisal being done.
Well, you're accepting the appraisal. So you're saying the appraisals were done, the appraisal values came in at or above the purchase price.
Yeah, there's always the bills. That's on that gas station.
So are you asking us to approve the,
That's in Tech Park.
Those were the two.
appraisals?
Yeah,
Yes.
we just don't have a copy of the appraisals.
Which two are they?
The Tech Park one and then the one on
Is it-
Detroit Street.
Here, here, or here? 'Cause I already got out of
How
them.
many copies of one?
Redevelopment claims.
Under redevelopment appraisals, right after the claims.
It's just the bills.
Well, that's just the cost of the appraisal.
Yeah, he did not include the copies of the appraisals.
Right.
Appraisals.
But we're supposed to approve the purchase price, and I don't know what the purchase price is.
One just charges more.
Quite a
I'm
discrepancy.
gonna- Yeah, but I'll also tell you. it is
Oh,
almost
it's
near impossible to find people who do
2,317,000.
Yeah,
appraisals
that one.
anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it is, I called.
so we
5
approved that
people
already, so why do we
to
have
get
to approve it
people.
again?
And most of them pointed me to the same people. I mean, these,
One, it's just, the one was just the payment.
The ones
Now
that
we're
used to do
approving
them
the
don't do them
appraisals,
anymore.
but we haven't really seen the,
I talked to Shively, he gave me a couple of names, and I called them and said they didn't do them
Still waiting
anymore.
on another.
And they gave me Vern Mitchell and Lowell's name, so they're about the only two people outside of John Shively in this area that do. George, can you pull your email if I send it to you?
I'm not sure. On my, is it on my board pack or my,
Your regular
It'd
email.
just be your regular.
He's gonna
email.
send you an email.
oh,
Mike, I can send you one too, if you can pull it.
Yeah.
yeah, see if
No,
Mike
I don't
will
have
work
email on
my-
this computer.
I don't either.
I just use this computer
My-
for city.
my
I didn't bring
school
my
email.
phone in.
However,
Hey, if
you can
We're
send it.
technologically
My
challenged.
school email,
What's that?
J.
We're
Gross at Warsaw
technologically
Schools.
challenged,
I can get that one,
Okay.
and then I could just see it or show these guys.
Warsaw Schools.
Yeah,
I
J.
know that
Gross at
sounds
warsawschools.org.
But that's true. I don't get my emails on this.
See, I don't have any city stuff on my personal.
It's my IT city on my laptop, not on my phone.
Yeah.
So Lowell's was 2,385,000 was his appraisal.
I have a copy. Here's the.
Wouldn't it be easier just to go up and get it?
Probably.
I can go out and get my phone.
The one I have is 39 pages.
Did you just read it to us?
Yeah.
Starting at page
And then the
one.
fee, which George I was able to see off his.
Sure, who's this? Oh, here's, this is Lowell Griffin's.
Yeah, that's Lowell's and Vern's is,
See
Vern's is $2,370,000. Jeff, you should have Vern's too.
Yeah, I see one that's 2,385,000, and then the other one was what, 75?
$2,370,000.
70?
Sent them to Tim. Mike,
I have
you
that.
have it too. Well, you have the first one. I'll send
Yeah,
you the
I just got the second one from you, thanks.
One, 2,200,003, that's Lowell
Yeah.
Griffin's.
The other one
270,
Yeah.
2,375,000. I'll see if I have that.
so it's not much difference.
Oh, 15,000? Is that right? On a 2.3? No. And what's the request from you again? What do you need?
Just you're accepting those appraisals. Because you're gonna base the purchase agreement off.
Oh, you have to have the two.
You have to have the two appraisals. So the purchase agreement is equal to or lesser than the two appraised, average of the two appraisals.
One.
You can send it to my city email. Did you just send it?
Okay.
I
Yes, you
sent
did.
you
Yes, you did. I see it.
one, I'll send you the other one, Mike.
So,
They've got to have the two,
yes.
so we can, yeah.
This is the second one. Loading.
You been able to see them, Mike, or not?
Coming up.
Is it, okay, good.
Oops, there was a problem viewing. Oh, there it is.
So the appraisals came out almost identical, is
Yeah.
that right?
Within 15,000.
Within 15,000.
Right.
I'll send it to you, Rick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it here.
I'll resend it to everybody, I just wanted to send it to them so they can look at it and show you
Verify.
the two appraisals.
Okay.
The process.
Here's the one,
The second
so
one.
I am seeing both.
Second one.
That's the one, so then I'm getting them, I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm comfortable, I can see both. The other one is 2,385,000. So this is 2,370.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can see it. You guys are also, all of you now can see them? You've been able to see mine, or you
Yes,
got
I
it?
saw it,
You're
yes.
comfy? Mike, you comfy? You're able to see them?
Yes, I can see it. The appraisal value.
And you were able
just
to
one
see it on
second
yours,
here.
you're now?
Let me go back
Still
to
downloading the second one.
Okay.
the invoice then. There's the invoice, okay.
If I get to see yours.
Yeah.
While
Me.
waiting. You've got
Griffin
Yep.
Real
Yep.
Estate.
270.
Okay, so I see one invoice and one appraisal.
Exactly, 2,385, so I got it, I'm comfortable with both.
Okay.
I'll get the other one up just so you can say you saw it.
I've got the other one.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
good, all right,
this
so good.
invoice is
Second one
giving me
still.
this number here.
So you saw the
Okay.
one that's 2,370,
Yeah.
then he's got one, so we've
Yep.
seen it, okay.
Yeah, let me help you. Help me.
And then he's emailed you, you'll be able to get it when you go home.
Now, is this someone different?
Yes, there was two, Griffin and Vern
Okay,
Mitchell
this-
are two different appraisers. Griffin, Lowell Griffin is the, yeah,
Why the second
2,200 and Lowell, and Vern was, Vern
2,000?
Mitchell was 2,000. yes.
Okay, so what was this
That
one?
was
One
for
of
the
them
gas
is a
station.
huge amount of
That's
data.
the gas station.
The one,
Okay.
I
So,
forget how many,
Second
one's
one.
8.1,
Which we don't have the
and
other
the other one,
appraisal
yeah,
on.
was just a huge
I'm
amount.
gonna go back,
This one from.
and,
Vern
so
Mitchell.
here's what I have.
Three-
Appraisal,
3.9,
Four.
The lower.
So that's Griffin.
appraisal one,
2.3.
and then
Yes, 2.385.
somewhere in here I saw it.
That's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, right there, okay. Now, did you send me something else then?
Yeah, you should have Mitchell's as well.
Nothing yet.
you comfortable with?
Same way
accept.
Yeah,
So
we
they were within
used them before.
$15,000 of the appraised value, and they
Did a
were
lot of
within
business with
$200 of their invoicing.
Pretty close. and
So we're
don't get
gonna,
appraised to that.
and so we paid, how much for it now?
Since I sent it to you.
We're paying 2,308,000, well, probably around 2,318,000. I don't have the closing costs yet,
2,318,
give or take.
so that's less than both the appraisals,
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The purchase price has to be at
or
or
below.
below
Okay,
the average of the two appraisals.
and it's quite a bit below.
Yeah, the average of the two appraisals would be 2,377,000.
7, 85, and 77,
Yeah, so I'm comfortable with that now. I understand it.
And these are two groups
You've
we've
been able to
used
see his
before,
and
Vern
one
Mitchell.
mine,
and,
just
you know,
for the
did
record.
Yeah,
Okay.
both Vern and Lowell do a lot of right-of-way appraisals.
Yeah.
That's why Vern is going to be doing the other set of appraisals for 300 North as well. They do a lot of NDOT right-of-way appraisals. They've done a lot of appraisals for us in the past, primarily because there's not a lot of commercial appraisers
No.
out there. John Shively's does a lot for us, but when I need a second one, I can't have him do two, so I have to get a second person.
Yeah.
There was, his last name's Mitchell too.
Greg?
Greg Mitchell used to, he does not. He's, I think for the most part, retired and not doing appraisals. So in the past, I've tried to get him to do some, but he's since kind of retired and no longer doing commercial appraisals.
I just had one done locally a couple months ago, and the guy came from Lafayette,
Yeah.
because they're hard to get them
There's
sometimes.
commercial, residential, there's still quite a few
Right.
doing residential, but not a lot do commercial appraisals. Especially when you're dealing with right-of-way. There's a lot of people that primarily do a lot of NDOT right-of-way appraising. And it's usually the same whenever we do an NDOT project, whether it's a firm from Fort Wayne or a firm from Indy or a firm from South Bend, 9 out of 10 times they use the same appraisers. There's not that many that have those licenses to do that type of appraisal.
Yeah, for some time.
So if you're looking for a career change,
Okay, everybody has seen both appraisals now on email?
Yes, sir.
Any further questions? Because now you know what we're actually estimating to pay. Very close to that person, and it's less than the two appraisals, and it's, more importantly, it's less than the average of those two. That's where the critical line is, so.
And it's $52,000 less than the lowest appraisal.
Which is good.
Yeah. So, with that said, I would make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve, accept,
yeah, you're accepting the
Yeah,
appraisal.
so
if I may correct that.
You may.
thank you.
Uh,
I'll accept,
Move
yeah, I'll
to-
second the motion to accept the appraisals.
Very good. We have a motion and a second.
Thank you, guys.
Further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion approved. Accepted.
There you go, yeah.
Motion approved. Okay. Next thing on is the approval of the real estate contract for the sale.
Yeah. So this is the actual real estate contract, so you're approving the purchase of second phase of Technology Park, Polk Drive.
And this is the amount that goes to the seller, to the, to the seller.
The purchase price of the property is $2,317,588.
But there will
The
be
closing costs are not included in, so that's the purchase price. The claim will have our portion of the closing cost in it. That's why the claim will be a little bit different than the contract, and that the contract, the actual purchase price is that $2,317,588. That's what we're paying. There will be some closing costs that we will pay, and and that will all be included in the, our payment, but the actual purchase price is the $2,317,588. That's what you're approving to purchase the property.
And that is for the road, basically the acreage for the roads and the improvements.
That's correct.
And, yeah, and the lift station.
And the lift station, correct. As part of the improvements.
Well, since we already approved the claim to pay it, I approve the contract, I'll move to,
You're on it.
yeah, approve the contract.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion
Good.
and a second to approve the contract as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay. Moving right along.
Will that sale take place before the end of the year?
Yes, my, ideally,
We hope.
ideally,
In fact, I think the contract says exactly that.
I saw that, December 31st, 2018.
yeah, so the Board of Works will approve the check, so to speak, which this will be a wire transfer, it won't be a check, but that'll get approved Friday at the Board of Works, and then we'll close sometime between Friday and the next Friday, hopefully. If not, we just have to close it before the end of the year, that's
Okay.
the goal anyhow. I don't have a closing date yet, they're preparing the closing documents and title work and all that, so once I get a closing date from Center Title, then we'll set that up. Tim will be the one that will be signing,
Sign it,
basically
yeah.
what you've approved is real estate contract, and him as the president, he'll be signing for the purchase of that property. So if you would like, I would like for you to give him permission to sign for the closing, so that I can put that in the minutes, so I can get it to the title company, so you would be approving him to sign on behalf of the Warsaw Redevelopment.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
So moved.
Second,
Motion and second to authorize the president of this fine group to sign for redevelopment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries, and that will be recorded in the minutes.
I have a question, this is just a technical question. Don't you already have that authority?
He does, but they've asked numerous times for me to show proof that he has the right to sign. And I've told him, well, it's in the state code that gives him the powers as afforded by the redevelopment commission. They want to see the minutes, so you approve the contract, you have approving him to sign at closing, so I'll give them those minutes, and that should suffice them as for their
The board
approval.
has spoken.
as a retired banker, we required the same thing.
So on the safe side, we
Yeah.
have our
Understand.
bases
Yeah,
covered,
that was my guess.
so there won't be any holdup during the, no pun intended, there'll be no delay.
But to
If I
answer
may
your
rephrase.
question, yes, in the state code, the redevelopment commission has these powers as outlaid within their operational procedures, and the president would be signing on behalf, much like he signs claims, vice president signs claims and so forth. It would be within their power as a board, once you approve something, for them to sign it.
Because you already approved the claim, so it's authorized.
Probably a claim of this amount.
Yep.
Tech Park
Yep.
purchase for a couple million, it's probably good to have
Yeah.
caution.
And that will include the closing costs as well, so.
Yeah.
So that's in the minutes as well. Okay. Anything else? Good questions, huh?
Thanks for the clarification, Jeremy.
That's a good question.
Okay, moving on, the Barnes and Thornburg contract.
This is just a contract for their work on the Airport Industrial Park bond issue. This will be paid for out of the bond proceeds. I just need you to accept their contract. That bond closes on the 5th, I believe. So in a couple days, we'll close on that bond.
I'll move we approve the agreement with Barnes and Thornburg.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Just
Second.
question?
Yes.
Further discussion? Mr. Snodgrass?
Yes. Okay, we're approving the contract,
Yes.
okay? So how much are we gonna be charged?
So if you go to page 4, it says, based upon our understanding of the terms and structure of the transaction, the assumptions set forth in this letter of duties will be undertaken, the responsibility will assume. In the current structure of the transaction, we estimate that our total fee will be $70,000, $14,000 for the TIF area consolidation, and $56,000 for bond counsel services.
And that is over and above their fixed costs that we approved prior.
Yeah, that's not based on the hourly rate, that's based on the transaction, or the bond issuance,
No.
and then consolidation.
So,
Yeah, see if we can make the print bigger. Hey,
I think I can enlarge that if you want.
no, that's all right.
He doesn't have that luxury yet.
The first page,
I have to.
first couple of pages don't do that, but some of the print in the back is even smaller.
Yeah. Get down to the font is very suspiciously small. And that's why they tell you to read the fine print.
Yeah.
We have fun with this. Okay. We have motion second. Any further discussion?
No.
You all right with that? Yeah. All right, I'll call for the vote then. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And in the economic development agreement,
And we're not voting on this, but I did want to, we've looked at a previous copy, and this is an updated version. There's still some things to work out. Michael McKinder and Sons Representative Zach Kessie is here, and he can kind of give us a kind of an update of where they're at on the project. My end goal would be, hopefully, and that doesn't leave us a whole lot of time, but either we would try to wrap things up so we can present kind of a final agreement, so review this over the next month. In January, we maybe come back with maybe a final agreement to review. If we can get that done in the next month, and so be it. If not, but we're moving towards getting this final agreement. So I wanted to get this in your hands so you can review it, and Zach will give you kind of an update where we're at on that Gap Key property, but this is the most recent version of this economic development agreement that we have.
okay. Zach, would you to the mic, please, and give us a little update? Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. Like Jeremy said, my name is Zach Kessie. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for Michael Kinder and Sons. So Alan Teo had been representing
Never heard of the guy.
our firm. Thanks, appreciate it. Us up until this point, but with Alan's move over to your neck of the woods, I've been the guy behind the scenes.
A welcome addition to our group.
Yes, you'll have great find with Alan. So, of course, as I can attest. So, I told Mike that last week. So, you'll be seeing a lot more of me, I guess. I've been operating behind the scenes on this project. So, to give you an update, like Jeremy said, we do have some things to still go through in the development agreement to get figured out and just make sure that the agreement has a clear path for both sides of the agreement going forward. So as far as the overall project, most talked about project, right? Like, is this going to still happen? Is this going to be another attempt? So we are moving forward. I was actually over here this morning, had breakfast with the group of individuals that we're working with. Still at the point where we can't tell the potential tenants, but we're to the point where we're coming to letter of intent with each of the tenants for the entire 20,000 square foot space of phase 1. So getting really close. So it's making our investors, our potential banking partners, and the rest of us feel warm and fuzzy about, moving forward and getting to this development agreement. So things are lining up nicely for us. Of course, they take longer than what you originally planned, right? It always sounds easy getting all partners together and getting it figured out. So our plan is to, in the next 30 days, we're going to have signed letter of intents from each of those tenants and work with Jeremy and his team to form that development agreement and then be able to move forward to hopefully get this project launched next spring. So still, our investors and our development team is still 100% committed behind the project, and everything just takes time. So can answer any questions if anybody has anything. Or
What types of support from the city redevelopment group are you looking for towards this project?
Yeah, so the one thing you'll see in the draft development agreement is support and partnership with the property, with us getting in line to take over the parcel right now. Also some help with development costs. And then also down the line, the last thing Jeremy and I were talking about Friday is trying to figure out how the increment can be used as part of the financing tool and some of the financing for the development costs we have. Of course, there may be a gap there when we look at what market rate is in Warsaw, Indiana for lease space versus what it's going to cost us. So that's what we're really trying to identify in these next 30 days with those letter of intents from these tenants. We have faith in these tenants wanting to be involved with the project, and so we're really trying to nail down what that gap is. So
Can you say how many tenants you're thinking may go in there?
I'll tell you, it's probably 3.
3.
Yep.
That's phase one.
That's phase one, yes. That's the first building, and that phase one in our mind, just to make sure it's clear, and I don't know what's been said before, is still the main rectangle building with all the windows in it. Look at redeveloping that building, trying to keep a lot of that open glass look. Of course, meet new energy code, keep the structure. We had, I think last January, I took a structural engineer, February I took a structural engineer through it, and Warren's keeping that cool open truss look at the building and everything, and then building around that. So that's where we're coming up at the first 20,000 square feet. So
Can you give us any idea of what type of tenants?
Without divulging?
Yeah.
yeah.
Agree to keep quiet for now?
I think you'll find a mix. There'll be a mix of, we're trying to activate the space, right? Not to have just a office tenant where it's a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 location. So we're trying to find something that activates that space. Of course, not bringing a living component to this, but you know, somebody where there's going to be traffic after hours down there. So I'll let you fill in the blank where you think, but it's not just straight office users or. So it's 2 completely different tenants that have some synergies together. So
It'll be a mixture of uses.
yep.
Probably something in the entertainment type venue, and then something in low manufacturing type.
So it'll go back on the tax roll?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is, the only thing here, well, we can't give any kind of economic incentive unless it's generating something. So what we will talk about once they have nailed down their letters of intent and structured their financing of the redevelopment commission. That's why I said, our end goal is to try to get a lot done in the next 30 days. I don't know that will happen, but we want to keep moving forward, so I wanted to get you a copy of this. We will look at how we participate in the project once we know a little bit more information in terms of the financing, in terms of what the investment is, what it's going to generate as an increment, and then we can start to look at. We had in the past talked about contributing towards demolition, so that some of the funds that we contribute may go toward demolition of those buildings that aren't reusable, site cleanup, and all of that is to come. They've got a lot of work to do on their end, and then once they have some of their work done and they can start to outline the investment that they're making and the tenants are making, then we can start to look at what the redevelopment commission investments that we can make into the project. Similar to a lot of the other projects we've done.
Good.
So this is just for your review. Look it over. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. If you have any concerns, I want to talk about them before the next meeting, so that we can make any changes that we might need to make beforehand.
Any further questions for Zach?
It'd be fantastic
Yes.
if we can get this done.
All right, we're going to make it happen.
Considering the alternative we were considering.
As long as we've been working on it.
Exactly.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we've been,
Not
how many years?
Well, I inherited this, and it was the original work was done in 1999 was the first environmental phase. They did clean up 99 through 2001. When I took over in 2004, cleanup had been done. And then from that point on, we've been trying to figure out what to do with this project. We've made a lot of improvements in the area with the McKinley Street Park, with improvements that are being done on Argonne with the gas station. And so others will continue to work on Market Street and work what we've done on Market Street. So we've made a lot of improvements. We're trying to create some draw to get reinvestment in this older part of the city, this older neighborhood. If I haven't told you, we did get the senior housing project. So we had put money in next year's budget to contribute towards that senior housing project on Market Street. We were awarded IHCDA funds for that. So that project will be a go next year. So a lot of good things.
Great.
Is that gonna happen at the same time they're trying to pave the street?
No, well, yeah. There
That'll
will
be fun.
There will be some joint fun in that, yeah.
We'll take it.
Good problem,
Yeah, it is a good problem. That's great.
Hopefully they get construction done before they lay new asphalt.
No, that's not the
No.
way, that's not the way it works. They lay the
That's what I'm
asphalt
afraid of.
and then they tear it up.
Yeah.
Well, this was our third time applying for funds for this project.
Yes, it's been, I was gonna ask, it's,
So, if you're looking for a lesson in perseverance, we've done it on this project. We
Yeah.
haven't given up.
Good for
And
you.
It's actually the fourth time, if you want to consider the first time being stellar, when we didn't get awarded
it
stellar.
was a
Yeah.
stellar.
So we
Yeah.
applied prior to stellar, we applied through stellar, and we applied last year, we applied.
Jeez.
I mean, we've just applied. We haven't given up. We wanted to see this project happen. It kind of goes hand in hand with the projects that we set aside on stellar, Gacky being one, senior housing, Market Street being redone, Little Crow being done. We still have some things we want to do with the parks along here. So regardless of whether or not we won stellar, which we didn't, it's still our intent to accomplish the goals that we set out. Will it take maybe a tad bit longer? Maybe, but we're still moving forward and want to accomplish those goals.
Check,
Sure.
Yeah,
Check.
Unbelievable.
check. Pretty
A lot of
impressive.
exciting things happening in that corridor next year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you, and I'll see you back in January.
Thank you very much for making the trip.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it
Thanks for
very
the
much.
up.
Okay. Everybody take a look at that document before the next meeting.
Yeah, just shoot me an email, call me, come in and see me if you have any questions, if there's anything I can get you. And there will be some changes for sure. I wanted to get you the structure of it so you can review that and let me know if you think there's something missing, or we can make some changes. The last thing I handed out, did we hand this out to you? So you should have it in your packet. It's not on the
I put it
agenda.
on the desk, right in front of you.
See if you can dig it out.
No, that's your bond.
Very good.
Yes,
Project funds?
yes, application for disbursement of project fund.
Yep.
So, our Buffalo Street project, phase one was the road improvements. We're completing that. I'm putting together the submission to the RDA to get our money, a portion of our money, the 1.615 million that we receive through regional cities, so that we can do the Buffalo Street Plaza this upcoming year. So this is the application. I was hoping to get some kind of approval from him. I did not get that. So I would like for you guys to approve submitting the application for disbursement of project funds. I'm not going to guarantee that I won't have to amend this and come back to you and make some changes, but if we do, we'll do that. I want to get this out to them as soon as possible. I want to get our funds so we can start our project next year. As you remember, is when we were doing the budget, our budget for the plaza is based on our ability to get the RDA funding so we can build the plaza. So this is that application to do that. So I'm just requesting your approval of the application, and then I'll hammer through the details over the next week or so, and hopefully we can get a submission to them so we can get reimbursed for it. And the first, so this was set up in tiers, and it's been a while since we talked about this. So our first cut would be $969,000, and then our second cut would be the remainder of $1,615,000 minus the $969,000. So a little over, well, six and a half or so.
So you need a motion to approve to apply for the
This
application.
is the application they gave me, so honestly, I would say a motion to approve the application for disbursements of project funds for Buffalo Street.
I will make that motion, as
Second,
you just said it, Kim.
second,
Okay.
This has a title here.
Yeah, application for disbursement of project funds for Buffalo Street.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Rick,
Further
second.
discussion, questions?
Just seconded it.
Rick. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Good luck, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get that on the job.
Any further?
You have the bond, final official bond statement for the airport industrial park. As we had anticipated, I think we were looking at issuing around 6.1 million. We actually ended up issuing less than that of the project. If you saw the bids came in at, the low bid came at just over 6 million, so it was like 6,090,000 was the low bid. So we've accepted that bid, and we're moving forward with closing on the 5th. Based on the dollar amounts of that, we adjusted the bond to account for that. We were paying for some of the improvements with cash, so we reduced that bond amount down, I think, to $5,600,000, rather than the 6.1 it was originally estimated at. So this project will be paid for roughly, that will generate 4.8 million in bond funds to be used for the project, and then 2 million on hand. So we'll have a bit of a cushion to try to make sure we get everything done. A lot of unknowns. We're laying 18,000 feet of pipe, so a lot of unknowns when you're talking about that extensive of construction. So I tried to keep as much room as we can so that we can get this project done and up and running by end of next year, early 2021. So.
There won't be any surprises on the money.
And these funds are going to be used for infrastructure.
Yes, they will be pipe in the ground and road improvements.
Very good. Anything else?
Just a flurry of closing this year's projects out and getting prepared for next year. I mean, next year we have a lot. We have 300 North. We have Airport Industrial Park. We have Buffalo Street Plaza. We'll have the housing project, which fortunately that'll be them. We'll just contribute our funds and they can build the housing. But
Market Street,
Market Street.
Gatke.
Gatke.
So what are you doing in your spare time?
Sleeping.
I would like to call to everybody's attention, the date of next month's meeting in January is January 7th. It's not the first Monday, but it's simply because of January 1st.
No, it's the first one.
Is it?
For sure.
Oh, it is, because it's on Tuesday. January. It is the first Monday. It
Yes.
falls on the
First is a Tuesday.
Okay, never mind.
The 7th is the first, but it is later than
It's
usually.
late, yeah, so.
Just based on how the days fall. Usually
Mark it on your calendar.
It is
January
June-
7th.
It is the 7th.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on your agenda for tonight, so you have that information. Want to make sure everybody was aware. Okay, anything else? before this fine group.
Mike, that's it.
All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, motion to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you, members of the press. We appreciate your attendance. Okay, wow. Hey, Mike, what were you saying about
They
light
approved it?
meeting tonight?
Well, when I looked at the agenda last week, it looked kind of light.
It did. We got into the details. Devil's in the details.